Back to the Tide Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the EARTHRISE Snapdragon. Overall, a pretty good figure. It has its pluses and minuses, as good as bad points. We're going to talk about all this coming up. Alright, let's have a good look at this guy in the box. Standard EARTHRISE packaging, but it's always fun to see how these things look when they're in the box. There's the side with a little bit of artwork. There's the top. And I'm going to flip around here to the back. Shows all three modes and a little bit of interactivity that you get. Looks pretty good. We're going to start out by taking a look at his beast mode and starting him out in beast mode. Overall, kind of the weakest mode of the three, but still not really all that bad. Pretty decent mode overall. Improvement from G1. You know what it is. You can tell it looks like a bit of a T-Rex, doesn't it? Space T-Rex. But let's get a little bit closer look at this guy. So looking at his head, starting with his head, the interesting thing about this is, first off, it does have quite a bit of paint on it, which I like that. But it uses some strange little gimmick where the headmaster actually plugs in inside there. His head plugs into just a little port, and then the legs become the jaw, which is something I actually didn't know was going to happen with this guy. I thought that was really ingenious. That's pretty cool. Like, the old way they did the head on this guy was just basically the head served two functions. But anyway, it was two heads in one, and so it makes the Titan Master look a little bit better. Getting down, we got this purple here and black, and then the little arms. There's some inside, some waffling. I really don't bother me that much. You can put the guns on the back. You don't have to. There is beautiful. I don't think it's on a sticker. I think that is painted on. It's tamper-graphed on. But a great look at Decepticons on both sides there. A little bit of opening on the side in here. The bottom looks, well, it looks like the jet mode. And then going to the back, there's a little bit of waffling and opening. And just a huge giant tail. But if you look at it, it just kind of looks okay. It looks okay. You got some, you can move this around a little bit. And you got the legs. I do kind of like how the feet transform into the hands. The feet part looks better than when it is the hands, though. I do have to admit that. It makes a little bit more sense in that direction. But overall, not bad. Weakest mode, and it's not a horrible mode. Here he is compared to Ape Face, and looking at the differences between these guys, and I do like kind of the plastic, the look of this plastic better than Ape Face. It does look better, looking at him from the side there. It just feels more right. Now this looks like a bar of soap on this plastic, and so they fixed that for this one. So that's a plus. That's one thing that a lot of people were questioning, and I start to wonder if we'll get another Ape Face put out that has paint on it, and then this one will be like, well, nobody will want it because because of the way it is. But one thing I want to say is this thing does feel more solid. It feels like, you know, you can pick them up and maneuver them around and stuff, and everything feels like it sort of clicks in place for the most part for the transformation. But when it comes to Ape Face, he does feel like he can fall apart on you pretty quick. Like, he'll lose his mode because things will come untabbed, because it feels like even in this neck area that tabs really aren't existent. It sort of feels like it melts together versus snapping in place. It's not very solid and satisfying. So transforming this and getting it in the mode is a lot more solid and satisfying. Here is a quick comparison to G1. Now, I'm not 100% sure I got my G1 transformed properly. I don't know. I don't have all the parts for them. This is a head to one of the other ones, Brainstorm or something. But just so you can kind of get the idea, and the color of plastic, and the plastics match a whole lot better than they did with the other figures, so with the Ape Face. And they did a better job with the plastic, of the whites on this one. I like it. The color scheme matches up pretty good, pretty well. A lot of this stuff does carry over and translate over from G1, so they did pretty good. So getting this guy transformed up, we just want to take these guns off of here, and we're going to need to tuck his head in. So let's go ahead and pull that headmaster out of there, close all this up, tuck all that in, fold this bad boys in here like so, and then move this to the back, tab this into here, fold out the wing, and then fold in the foot. See, we got the hand already. Same thing over here. This is much easier. See, it tabs in, it feels solid. Feels like everything is the way it should be. versus the ape face. Go ahead and fold out your landing gear right here. Okay, pull out the landing gear, no matter the cost. You can split the nose cone to get access to get it out if you need to. Yes, I don't use spudgers. I have nature's spudgers. Put your guy in here. It is cool that it has an opening cockpit. Now you do want to move this piece all the way to the back and tab it in. Right there. Let's get that to focus. And then we're gonna move these legs down into place. If I can get that to focus right. Next we gotta put the guns on it. And there it goes. And that does look pretty good. Yes, it does look good. That's a nice looking jet boat. The downside to it is it just feels like if you transform Masterpiece in third parties, like there would be some panels coming out to cover that and fill that out, and you're like, oh, where are those panels at? And after looking around, there are no panels. That's it. That's the end of it. It does look good. The fact that it has an opening cockpit, I love that. I love that little feature, and it's kind of harkens back to Titan Returns a bit. It just feels like this could be a Titan Returns figure. There's so many Titan Return figures that just have the same similar feel. The transformation is simple enough for a triple changer, but I do like the plastic. I like the paint apps. They just work really well. Compared to Ape Face. Now I know that a lot of people don't like the Ape Face alt mode, and I can understand that, but I think it looks fine. I mean, these two together look great. It's an excellent looking team, an excellent looking duo, works great. There's a bit of a color breakup, but at the same time they have color similarity. So you have kind of the white and you have the soap, and then you have the purples that sort of match, but then you have this sort of a magenta and sort of an aqua color, and so they give it a little bit of a color breakup. They're pretty decent size. Hard to keep all in perspective. Here he is next to the G1, and the thing about this is you're going to notice right away there's a minimal line work, a lot smoother look to the G1, and kind of turn this so you can see how much more line work there is on the Siege, Earthrise, whatever. It's the new take on it. And with this, there's clear plastic here where this was painted, a little different, but really does pay an homage. And I'm sure like these little pieces, you're supposed to be able to get them and put them on there. Mine's missing these pieces here. Well, mine's missing a lot, but you know, what do you expect for like 10 bucks or whatever. But anyway, just kind of like get the idea of size and look and aesthetic and the differences and the similarities from this one to a G1. That's how it looks. Go ahead and get this thing transformed up into bod mode. So let's go ahead and pull these out. And we're going to need to take the Titan Master out of here. Put all that to a side. Close that back up. Let's disconnect these tabs right here. And then we're going to move this whole midsection. Disconnect the midsection and move it up. Up, up, up. And it's going to tab into place, but we have these other little sections here that are also kind of a second set of tabs for the shoulder. So we need to get that slid in if you can see it. Let's see. How can I position the arm where you can see that? But anyways, slides in. Slides in like this. Kind of strange. Like I've never seen Mainline do something like that before. Okay, so let's get these legs done and out of the way. So we want to split them. We want to make sure that they're facing like this. And this is going to fold to the back. Like so. Oh, put the landing gear in. And then they do tab in. There's a tab right there and a notch right here. So let's go ahead and get that done. Which, like this side seems like it's going to tab in a little easier. Maybe, maybe not. There it goes. And then we do need to fold the heel spur up which kind of creates the foot. So when you fold the heel spur, it creates the foot. All right, now looking at the top, we have to finish this guy up. Let's adjust the camera a bit. Now we're going to fold the arm around, and as you fold the arm around, the wing will kind of go with it, and then there's the hand. So the hand is what used to be the foot in the other mode, so do the same thing over here. Fold that around, we have that. Now we do need his head, so let's take a look at this Titan Master. Here is the Titan Master himself. Let's see if we can get a good focus in. And this thing is going to be really hard for me to get on there, but he looks okay. He looks good. I mean, for considering he's fulfilling so many modes and so much. But let's just transform that up and plug him in. Get his guns in his hands, and we'll have a good look at him. Alright, so looking at him in his bot mode, he's rather nice bot mode. He doesn't look bad. He's a pretty good looking figure, except he does have some kibble, but the kibble's not excessively present from the front, and most people do like to display theirs from the front. The kibble comes in the back, and there's a bit of kibble right here, and quite a bit of kibble with these, and it's just something that it's a little unsightly from the back, and it's just depending on how you pose it or how you angle it, it could be annoying. But kind of the A stance is going to look really good, and until you start kind of moving his arm around and stuff. So that's just the way it is. Looking at some articulation with this head, of course he's got a headmaster side to side, up and down. Seems like his head's a bit small. Maybe it's just because I'm used to this particular character having a ginormous double use head, but our shoulders go out to the 90, and it's really nice how this works, seeing that. And then you do your 360 with it. You do have bicep swivel in a mainline figure, not a double jointed elbow though, but not even all the way to the 90. It's kind of carrying a lot of kibble. And the hands, like I said before, the hands are just molded in, and like the other gimmick thing, it turns into a foot, so you could get some sort of down to it, but the foot's going to get exposed. It's going to break that up. You do have some waist swivel, no ab crunch. Of course, there's the discussion of, do you ever really get ab crunch on mainline? Thigh swivel and a color breakup between the purple and the blacks. Kind of looks good. I like that. Sort of looks blue on my camera. Oh, whatever. Anyway, you get a little bit past the 90 in the knee, ankle rocker, a little bit of transformation, tilt to the back, and really what you would expect from a mainline figure at the $30 price point. So here he is next to Ape Face, and I have to admit that these two look good together. And I did put on the Titan Return set, and if you don't know what I mean, it's like the little $5 figure at the time. Now they charge $6, but back then they were $5, and they made an Ape Face before they made this Ape Face in Siege, and that Titan Returns Ape Face is a little bit cleaner, so you can kind of see the difference here. I think it's a closer match to them because this head's just a little bit smaller and it's not carrying any sort of ape head eyes that the other one would. But looking at them, the colors match really well. It looks pretty good as a team. They look all right. They both have a lot of kibble, but I actually think Ape Face's kibble is more streamlined aside from this big chunk of stuff. It just kind of looks right, looks more right. I think in this mode, Ape Face would win, but still not bad. I really wish the whites looked more like that one. Quick comparison to a G1 with Brainstorm's head, and looking at this, you do see still a bit of a cleaner look, but a better look on this one. So G1 looks a little cleaner, less line work and all that stuff, and then much better look there. Then the gimmick is long gone with the head. You don't get that anymore. I mean, it would be nice if maybe the compartment opened or something and you had a sticker or something, or, you know, tampograph. That would have been cool. Here they are from the side, and you're going to notice, if I can keep this guy standing, that much cleaner, you know, just technology and design work makes it for a much cleaner bot when it comes to that. And from the back, so I mean, really, we've come a long way. So here we are next to EARTHRISE Optimus Prime and Siege Megatron, and what you're going to notice is that They're technically Voyager scaled, even though he's charged a leader price. I'm not going to get into that, but he's a bit smaller than them, and I don't really know if that's the correct scaling, but it feels right. It feels right. It looks good. I mean, it's not so much smaller that it bothers me. So yeah, it fits in really well. This has been the EARTHRISE Snapdragon. I think he looks really good. I really like the improvement of the white plastic over the ape face. I do like the color scheme and the way it works. He does have quite a bit of kibble in a couple of modes. The dino mode, which is I think the reason most people would be attracted to this character, is not the best mode. Not the best of the three modes. Plain mode pretty good, and the bot mode's good. So overall, I would say it's a good figure. I do like him. I'm glad I picked him up. He's a bit of fun. The transformations are pretty solid. So if you want this figure for the actual monster mode, the dino mode, then you might be a little disappointed. But aside from that, it's a good figure. Like and subscribe. Try to hang out.